Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Ordinal ecosystem. What is up, guys? We have another market update for you guys today. So every week we have the weekly update and the weekend update. This is the weekend update. Going to give you guys all the prices of everything, all the nice degen stuff for you guys to get into, potentially not get into. We got so much to talk about. So the rats token seems to be old news, and the mice token seems to be new news. It is minting. We got so much going on. We got potential Bitcoin movies. Someone paid $5,538 to inscribe a 5-second clip. It is on an uncommon. It is cursed. It's something that it could be huge. First is first. So I mean, it's something we're gonna get into. We're gonna get into some of the DMT stuff. So if you missed yesterday's Spaces, we have that video on our YouTube. Definitely check that out. We had so much information in there, from Jeffrey from Recursiverse to Track to Block Runner. It was absolutely amazing. So much alpha. And when we first started doing the Spaces, that was the goal. The goal was to really push building Bitcoin ordinal builders. Our friend Kimmy helps us go out and find the best of them. And we get everything together and we put that out for you every single Saturday, 8 a.m. So check that out every week. And if you guys miss it, we're gonna have it up. We're gonna have it here, uploaded all here for you guys. So, but without further ado, I'm bringing my partner, as always, to get this market update started, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man? What's up?
So it's been an incredible week. Very fun. So much really going on with this Nat stuff. Black Runner seems to be overwhelmed. Benny seems to be overwhelmed. Jeffrey's like throwing stuff out left and right. We got so much to cover in so little time.
Yeah.
How was your week?
Man, it was good. Great Thanksgiving. Some good football. My Huskies are still undefeated, barely by a field goal yesterday. So they just need to beat the stinking Ducks, and then they'll be in the playoffs. So excited about that. Other than that, man, the space has been great. Bitcoin is trying to find where it wants to chill out. I think it's definitely ranging between 37.5 to low 38s, low 37s to low 38s. Our Spaces was amazing, like you said. It was probably one of our I would say top, because we've had some great Spaces, but it was
the best.
It is definitely top 3. I feel like in terms of listener count, it was the best. We set a record yesterday, I believe. And a lot of clarity out of that Spaces. So recommend, definitely. We have it here on our channel. Go check it out. And there was just really good clarity, in my opinion. Still the whole DMT, NAT, because it's never ending, because it's kind of this open source type of protocol. You just definitely want to take it in phases, in my opinion. But that Spaces will give you a better understanding of it.
100%. And I actually learned a lot, because not only do we put the Spaces on for you guys to learn, put it on the stuff that we want to learn. And I was getting FOMO in the Nats, but I didn't really understand it. And yesterday I got a really good understanding of it, and today I minted some Nats. So, but not financial advice at all. It's something that I'm doing personally. And I'm at 50 today. Have you minted any yet?
I minted some of my own blocks, Nats of my own blocks. So we'll kind of, I think what needs to happen is there needs to be some tools, some 100%. Resources for the public to be able to kind of just reference, how many total Nats are going to be in supply of currently circulating, right? And so so there's definitely some more stuff that needs to be available to the public to make that. And when I say my blocks, I meant the blocks that are associated to the bitmaps that I own. Gotcha. Obviously not my blocks, but block data.
Yeah, for sure.
So
all right, I'm get your opinion on something real quick. So where do you think Bitcoin is going over the next, over the next course of the month, until, let's just say, December 31st?
Yeah, so I'm not going to bore you too much. I know you don't like TA.
Not a TA guy, but I do enjoy some predictions.
Not a TA guy, but you can kind of see right here that we've ever since this is the daily chart, by the way, October 14th, it's really where we started creating our uptrend here, and it's been up only, right? And then you get to early November where we barely had that. This is the first red candle, bro. Like from October 16th. That is nuts. Like it's like 3 weeks, 3 weeks, right? And then all of a sudden up only again. But the reason why I'm showing this is because you can see the stochastics RSI right here, which is, I believe, it's one of the strongest indicators, right? We're still in the oversold kind of area. We're just creeping out of it. So from the daily chart, it looks like we still, have a ways to go in terms of going up. Now, a couple red candles could come in. We could just do some of this right here that you saw here, and we could kind of hover, because this is a long-term chart. It's a daily, right?
Yeah.
You're talking about each day. Where do I expect the next couple of days? The beginning of December. I think you were right with your prediction. Yeah, kind of that pullback. We're seeing some of that right now. It is Sunday. Sundays are usually kind of like that anyways. They're not too exciting in the positive, really. So Monday is going to really tell us, if we go a little choppy here, which could very well be the case. I still don't see this like crashing down to like, going down below the range here and then getting to that like 30, 32, 31. I just don't see that. Maybe like 35, 36, and then we'll continue our journey up, is my opinion. So, it's just, I think it's hard to tell with numbers, but like, maybe by mid December, we see like 45. That would be awesome.
Yeah. So I'm gonna predict off kind of like off feel, and I still feel like we're gonna hit 42, and then we're gonna see 34 again. I think when people start seeing December on their calendars, they're gonna be like, oh well, I made a lot of money here. Let me take a little bit out and buy my wife something nice. Let me make sure the kids have an amazing Christmas. Let me make sure, my family is well in these times and stuff like that. So that's just my feeling, and I could be completely wrong. This is my I want to say fourth going on fifth year in crypto, so I definitely see the same thing in the same months. And then right around the second or third week of December, everyone's like, okay, everything's taken care of. Christmas presents are bought, everything's bought. I have this extra money sitting in cash, back in. So, and that's just what I've seen, my experience of what I've paid attention to. And it's always kind of been the same every single time. So that's just my prediction: 42, 34, then blast off.
Yeah. I think that's fair. Makes sense. It's not anything outrageous. Kind of stays within that range that we were just talking about. One thing I want to make a point of here is, I strongly believe we're in the denial part of the Wall Street psychology. Let me show you guys actually, because this is really cool. Chart. And I'm gonna pull that up right now. You can see here. So I feel like we're kind of in this range right here, the disbelief range, and the reason why is because you still have like the perma bears that are calling for this big dump down. Not too many. It's definitely dwindled down with that, but like the reason why I'm bringing this up at all is because I see it on TikTok, I see it some on YouTube, and they were actually calling out the Binance situation before it happened, and when it happened, the price of Bitcoin didn't do what they expected it to do, right? And I think it's because we've turned that direction around. Right now, we're in the beginning of a bull market. And people say, well, what are you talking about? In the beginning, we're up like 1,000% from last year when it hit 16,000. They don't realize that like we haven't gotten to the previous cycle's top yet. We haven't even gotten. We haven't. This is like restabilizing moments. It's not like we haven't been in a bull market for the past 6 months. You know what I mean? And so, but what this, in my opinion, is going to lead to is we're hearing some of that disbelief. People aren't just like, we've been burned for so long, hearing that disbelief, and then guess what? Like we're going to be, this disbelief turns into, because this continues over here, this disbelief turns into hope. There's a recovery, and then like obviously up here. So that's just my opinion. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's where we are.
I actually I think we're already in hope. If you want to pull it back up real quick.
Okay.
I think that we're already out of the disbelief phase. I think we're in hope, and we're headed. I think we're in the middle of hope there, and we're headed to optimism. So, and that's I think we're about to blast off. I think the next 6 to 8 months are going to be absolutely insane. My horizon might be a little off. It might be closer to 6 to 8 months, or maybe 8 to 12 months. But I got that feeling, man. Same feeling I had in 2020 of December. You know what I mean? So it's just like I feel like we are right now in December 2020. I think that is the feeling that I get. Obviously, the 2020 was a halving year, but we got beat up by COVID. So I feel like we're gonna get that earlier this cycle.
Yeah, COVID definitely threw things off. But like, yeah, hey, you make a great point because like I mentioned before, that like there's less of those perma bears that are coming out.
Yep.
And so maybe we are, and majority of the community and stuff is kind of past that disbelief, because we just saw that level up specifically in ordinals. But
Yeah.
Bitcoin getting to 38K, that's definitely a level up, right? We I think all of this comes down to this: we've changed direction. That
Yeah.
is a fact. We've
Yep.
changed direction. Something like the CZ stepping down and getting fined $4 billion a year and a half ago would have tanked Bitcoin, in my opinion.
Yep.
And Bitcoin seems to be ironclad. It like dropped to what, like 30? Did it drop to 36, 30 whenever the news came out about CZ? Like,
It barely touched it.
right?
Like
That's
it
pretty
was.
big news, is it
I know.
not?
Well, I think it was already baked in. I feel like it was already in the
No
cake.
one was expecting him to step down.
Nobody was expecting step down, but everyone was expecting huge like hit on
Fines.
Binance. Like Gary Gensler was not going to be okay until he beat Binance up a little bit. And I feel like the punch came. It was a lot less of a hit than we thought it was, because Binance is they're still running, right? Obviously, Binance US is basically done, and if you have any money in there, I would highly recommend getting that out of there. But I just think that it wasn't as bad as everyone thought it was going to be, and that is why the price really didn't take a hit.
Yeah. There could have been some sort of negotiation. Well, there was obviously negotiations between Binance
Yeah.
and the DOJ and all that stuff, but maybe there was like, hey, look, we're going to do this. We're going to fall, listen to your demands. CZ is going to step down, all this stuff. Now
Yeah.
let's play nice with each other,
Yep.
And in my opinion, I think what's going to happen, and they already, I don't know if this is official or not, but I did read a statement that said that they're planning to use the $4 billion in fines to make the investors that were a part of FTX right one for one. They're trying to do that, and in my opinion, they're going to relaunch FTX.
They are, with the money they got from Binance, right? Which is
Yeah,
total. Ugh, it's disgusting. This government that we have is disgusting right now. But
yeah,
that's my
it
opinion.
is. But yeah, so overall, to kind of wrap up, where's BTC heading? I think we're both in the same mindset that, hey,
Yeah.
look, this middle of December is probably going to look pretty nice.
Yeah.
Little Christmas gift, early Christmas gift, and then nothing crazy though, right? Not nothing. I still don't think we reached the previous cycle's top probably until like early spring,
I'm
January
in a little
maybe.
different. I think January, I say around 27th, 28th, because that is when the deadline is for the BlackRock ETF to go through.
That's
So
true. That is true. Yeah.
that is why that I think we will potentially be at all times high first week of February, and that's just my opinion.
All time
But
high ever.
I think we'll be over 69K, 70K once because it's not gonna trickle in. It's gonna be like 11 ETFs at one time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a lot
Uh,
of Bitcoin that needs to be bought.
True. True. Yep. Awesome. Well, excited for that if that
Yep.
happens. All right. So let's move on to this next topic. So with BRC20s really kind of hogging the spotlight,
Yeah.
and there's some ordinal projects definitely that are blasting off too. OMB and Frogs and some new ones, but really BRC20s have been hogging the spotlight for the most part the past like month.
Yeah.
It seems like there's interest coming from outside builders that are trying to put some utility projects together that's associated with the BRC20 they're launching, or previous ones that are trying to put something out there. Do you feel like this is more of a, hey, we're trying to ride the hype train, or hey, there's something here long term and I want to build something for that?
Um, Honestly, I think both. I think they're definitely trying to ride the hype train, but I do think we do have real builders over here and not just salesmen. And I think that is huge because like I feel like at the end of the ETH cycle that we got more salesmen than builders. And I feel like now we have more builders than salesmen. And I feel like it's a good mixture of these devs really putting things together and they want to build utility over here for these projects. That everyone wants utility for these projects. Whether it's possible or not, on a layer one on Bitcoin's layer one is something that we're gonna have to wait to see. But it's definitely something to be, wary about and definitely something to definitely take a look at, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think that it is a little bit split, like you said. You know, hype definitely. Like, why wouldn't you? It seems to be like the focus. Other chains are doing inscriptions
Yep.
tokens, actually, inscription tokens. And with the modular system that Unisat has put out there, it's probably the closest thing that I've seen to feel like your layer one.
True.
So if you can build applications on that modular system, which some people are trying to do right now,
Yep.
I think that that's really going to benefit like these layer one BRC20 tokens.
Yeah.
Because you can
Yep.
have the token but build the modular on the modular system.
Yeah.
You know what
And
I'm
I
saying?
I I think we see some stuff going around, like, kinda going backwards, kinda like what Unisat did in general with Sats. Like, Sats was already out, minted, and then somebody adopted it who had, huge pockets of it, which was, Unisat. So, we might be able to see something like you never know, like, token like Rats could eventually have utility. Token like Honk could actually have utility because these guys are going and buying it. It's already a community token, and, but, like, I'm really big on this. I'm really big on, taking a community and building around it instead of trying to build your own. So
Yeah.
I definitely see something like that happening as well.
Yeah, and one of those projects with the utility is Fairlight.
Yeah,
Supposedly, we don't know for sure when this is. Obviously, they don't have a product yet, but they do have a website. It's the ticker is FCDP. It is a BRC20. You can read the light paper here. It's fcdp.io. If you read the light paper, the first part is in Mandarin, and then you can go scroll down to the bottom and read here. And it seems to be a lending protocol. We've talked about it before, but this is just an example, right,
yeah,
of builders building with that have a BRC20 token and are trying to build applications in the ecosystem.
100%.
So,
Yeah.
um, are you bullish for that ecosystem to grow, or do you feel like it's going to be kind of like a slow growth of like the builder communities for BRC20s?
I'm bullish on Unisat's modules, right? I'm bullish on that. I'm bullish on people building on the modules. I'm bullish on everything that Unisat has built and has kind of given away for people to build their own type of thing using what they have already built. So I mean, that's huge for the ecosystem. My bullish on Fairlight. I did buy a couple because of my FOMO, but I need to see more. I need to, you know what I mean? I need them to kind of get out there. Maybe we'll reach out to them, maybe get them on the show and stuff like that. But I need more. I need more information on them in particular. But to answer your question, yes, I'm very bullish on people building on Unisat's modular systems. So
Yeah, so am I. I think that's going to be a huge. That's probably going to be the biggest builder community of BRC20 projects, right?
100%.
So
Yep.
awesome.
Speaking of Unisat, let's jump into this one right here. Unisat BRC20 swap listing votes gets botted. So it got botted yesterday. They were going to do 2 tokens, but they ended up just saying since it got botted, and it was like Rats at 34%, and then the other 3 tokens were almost identical at like 20.2, 21 point something. They were pretty close to each other, but TURT definitely won, TURT, but they're not listing TURT. They're only listing Rats. How do you feel
Gotcha.
with that?
I think that like botted or not botted, pretty much everyone would assume that Rats would be one of the two would
Yeah,
win, right? So I think that's where their logic came in and said, okay, like we're gonna list Rats, and I think STST was on there,
yeah, it was.
and I think STST is a modular, like I think they're using the API, Unisat API, and I think they're building a swap to kind of be in that ecosystem too. So I don't know. I mean, like, but yeah, Rats definitely deserves. It's probably long overdue that they're
Yeah,
added to the swap. Um, Speaking of the swap, though, like it was such a buildup of them releasing the swap, and I've used the swap like a couple times, but I'm not really actively using it, right?
Yeah.
Um, what's your thoughts on the swap? Like, how do you feel about it? Like, obviously they're working on stables and they're working on getting BTC over there. Do you think this was the right approach for them to do this, to release it first and then like try to solve the stable coin and BTC problem? And then, once they release that, it's going to be like gangbusters? Or do you feel like they should have released it all at once?
I think they are doing everything absolutely perfect. Like I'm not a swap user. I've not used a swap yet. None of my wallets have the amount of points needed. I think actually one does, but I haven't really used it yet. But I'm waiting for BTC and USDC, or a stable coin of their choice, of their choosing, whether it be bridged over from another chain or whatever. But yeah, so I probably won't use it until that point. And I need more tokens in there. I need I need to, like, every Monday to 4 more tokens to be added. That'll get me to use it. But I think, to answer your question, they're doing absolutely everything perfect. They took their time with it. They announced it first. They're just putting tokens out there. They made Sats their token. So if you wanted to, if you had Rats, you can convert it to Sats, or if you had Take Profit and stuff like that. I think they're doing everything absolutely perfect to that aspect. But it's slow and steady, and I think that's how they win the race. And I think that going forward, we're going to see more and more updates to it. I think it's perfect. I think they're doing everything right. There's no reason to rush anything. There's because once you add like BTC or USDC, you gamify it a little bit. You make it more, everyone's going to race to get more BTC, which add bots, which add MEV, which add a whole bunch of other aspects to it. So right now, I think it's absolutely perfect. No need to rush anything. Bull market is just beginning, and I'm happy with it so far.
Yeah. It's interesting. If you think about some of the dexes that you got into early whenever they first started, let's say, for example, for you, I know Camelot was one of them. For you
Yep.
on Arbitrum. For me, MMF was one of them on Chronos. But like you notice, like the highest liquidity pairings were the native token
Yep.
and whatever tokens they offer, right? For example, I know Arbitrum uses ETH, so
Yeah.
that's different. But like on the MMF side, it was Crow, which is the Crow crypto.com token,
Yep.
plus all these others. So it was like a bunch of Crow and then all these other tokens that it's pairing with, right? And then you would see like the whales would be the ones that would really pair Ethereum with like a solid, like either
Yep.
Crow or safer liquidity pairing, staking, right? And
Yep.
then wrap Bitcoin with Crow, and then they would just put like millions of dollars in there and hold it. I feel like we're seeing that, but like in a like step by step. But they're doing it with
Exactly.
Sats. You know what I
Yep.
mean? They're doing it with Sats, so it's starting to make a very clear picture of what's going to happen next, right? So
Yep.
all these Sats pairings is going to increase the strength of Sats, and then also when BTC does come over, who knows if they end up bringing a wrapped Ethereum or whatever. But let's say, BTC comes over, then you'll start to see Sats and BTC is going to start to
Yep.
build up like very
Yep.
strong, because that's like the state, or Ordi and BTC. Those two will build up very strong liquidity pools, in my opinion,
I
and
agree.
then staking pools, right?
Yeah.
So I
I think
agree.
in a year from now, the top 3 pools on the Unisat will be BTC Sats, stablecoin Sats, and probably Sats Ordi. I think those 3 will probably be the highest. Not saying anything about Ordi, but Ordi has no utility. It's the it's the
Yeah.
first of the first, the meme coin. Sats has utility. Sats is the gas token. Sats is the unofficial token of Unisat. So it's I feel like Sats, to your point, Sats will be that Crow token over here.
Yeah. It'll have the most liquidity, in my opinion. It'll be the
100%.
strongest, formidable BRC20 in the end, in my
But
opinion.
to that point, Sats will have it won't do a 100x,
Because
so
it'll be too hard. I mean, who knows? Like
it'll be getting too big.
when TradFi opens the doors, right? Like, who knows how much liquidity comes in? It's going to
Yeah,
come into Bitcoin first and foremost, and then it'll start to trickle wherever else it's going to go. But
yeah,
like, who knows what Sats could get to 5 billion? Shoot, it could
that's
get to
true.
10
That's
billion, right?
a
But
100x. 20.
still, though, like, yeah. Um, logically, you're thinking if it's sitting at like 300 million right now, getting to a billion is such a huge like milestone, right?
Yeah.
And that's a 3x, 1x from 1.5x
Yeah.
from here or something like that, right? So people like myself or you that like got into sats a little bit earlier than the public
Yeah.
hasn't really even gotten into it very much, so we see it differently than I think what other people might see it.
100%. But definitely bullish on this whole process. This is all good for Bitcoin. So
Yeah, I agree.
layer one assets on Bitcoin.
Layer one assets on Bitcoin. Yep.
It's your big narrative, and I'm starting to really
Well,
like
I mean,
saying
it's just like it sounds good for one,
it
and
does.
it's true for two. Like they are layer one assets, right?
Yeah.
No one really talked about any layer one assets on Bitcoin before this year because there
Nope.
just wasn't a market for it. It wasn't huge. I mean, yeah, you had your rare Pepes and stuff like that, but I'm not sure how Counterparty adds those to Bitcoin. But
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
anyways, all right. So this is yours. You can talk about this because I
Yes.
don't know much about it.
All right, so I was doing my research this morning, and I thought this was really cool. Uh, so uh, so basically, someone paid $5,538 to inscribe this 5-second 1080p resolution video on Bitcoin. They did it on a uncommon set. Let me get this link up really quickly because I was actually unprepared. But take 2 seconds. Show my screen here.
Yeah, this is an interesting situation.
All right, so this is the video right here. And if you look, if I can get this going, it is a cursed inscription. It is on an uncommon, and it is a really cool video. Would you pay $5,538 for this? Probably not, right?
Yeah, I personally wouldn't, but I get where their mind was at, right? Like curse
Yeah,
inscriptions are going away, so they're trying to get a curse inscription. It's on an uncommon, which is pricey just to have the uncommon itself,
yeah,
and then also having this MP4, it looks like, file inscribed. It's interesting, right? Like someone might, it's 1080p resolution too, right?
yeah,
Which
yep,
is probably why it costs so much, the file size. um but someone might pay for this like down the road, and have it framed in their $1 million mansion,
yeah.
multi-million-dollar mansion. But for now, like for me, I don't know. Just looking right now, that's not something I would spend my money on.
So to me, in let's just say 100 years from now, this image will still be on Bitcoin,
Yeah,
right? It'll be there forever, right? It'll be one of the first movies, and potentially by that point, you might see full action live movies on Bitcoin, right? Because I've got to think movies pay, hundreds of millions of dollars to get made. What's to them to drop $1 million to get it inscribed in Bitcoin so it's there forever? It could be something that happens in the future, So it's one of
yeah,
those things where obviously, this is, it's just a simple, you know, 5-second video, but it's the start of something, in my opinion, that was going to be here forever and potentially start of something that we see more consistency of and more videos like this. Obviously, with transaction fees getting higher and higher, that you might, it might be more and more expensive. But I love it, dude. I love the fact that it's here forever, and 150 years from now, 200 years from now, people are going to look back on this and have a Satoshi, uncommon Satoshi with this image on it.
yeah.
So love this video.
Definitely could be a huge collector's piece. I think we're gonna, in the future, like we'll start to see like more conventions about Ordinal specifically, and collectors kind of getting together and stuff. It's gonna be very interesting. That would be so fun for me just to go to like a convention and talk, show and trade and do whatever, sell,
Yep.
buy whatever. But yeah.
Yeah, man. So I thought it was really cool. Something I definitely want to bring up. So
Would you pay for $5,538 right now for that?
not me today, but me in a year from now, maybe.
That's funny. Yeah.
But I would say if everything works out really well and I'm sitting on a crap ton of Bitcoin, and I feel like this is going to go up in value over time. Yeah, definitely, I would.
Yeah. No, I got you, man. It's definitely looking towards the future,
For
But
sure.
all right, I think we got one more. I want to touch on. I'm not going to get super deep into this because, like, obviously, because it is open kind of ended, and there's so many levels to this. But I
Yeah.
wanted to talk more about like DMT, digital matter theory, right? That's the
Yep.
whole concept of everything that's been talked about with the block runners and non-arbitrary non-arbitrary tokens, and stuff like that. But really, what excites me is the element registry part of it. So, for example, the NAT token. So remember, there's two separate things here. There's NAT protocol, which is non-arbitrary token protocol, which
Yes.
allows, in theory, you are able to create these tokens based off of data. Then there's the NAT token that was actually deployed and created. Those are separate, right? But this is one of these NAT tokens, right? So how they were able to really figure out what they were going to use to create the NAT token was they went through the element registry, right? And you can see the field perimeter. They had to select a field perimeter, right? So they went and they selected number 11, which is bits and hex, right? So they basically deployed that the bits pattern in every block that's been mined. So bits is the data, and the pattern that they used, for every block represented a NAT token, right? A token. So, this is really cool because like this is how you would, create your own kind of token, right? Like, so for example, if Shizzy and I wanted to create an Ordinal Revolution token, we could use number 7, the Merkle root data,
Yeah.
right? And then here's an example of, creating that, right? So you can see here using block 817577, you can separate patterns to use for your element inscription in transaction hash field number 16. Pattern 69 occurs 1088 times within this block. Pattern 420 occurs 58 times. So basically from the bit data, I'm just using bit data as an
Yeah.
example, right? They chose the pattern 69. So you can see here from they use the hash data field number 16, hash field. So these are the hashes, transaction hashes. So then the pattern that they recognized was 69. So they pulled it. How many times is 69 pulled for this block, right? And then they also did 420. And then to inscribe the above patterns, they would use Satoshi.69 for this top one because they named it the token Satoshi. 69.16.element, and then the one 420 that's associated with 420, they named it Finny. So Finny.420.16.element. So that's really kind of how you create it based off of the data. So
Yeah.
that probably is already like confusing for the audience, right? So I just really recommend you guys going into these documents, right? The documents we'll put into the description there. But this is something I'm going to be playing around with because I think it's really cool to be able to create, non-arbitrary tokens based off of data that's associated to a block, whether that's a hash or the bits or any of the other 37 element registry field parameters.
Yeah, and I feel this is early days. Like I feel like this is very early in the process. I think that with Block Runner and obviously Benny's helping them index everything. What they're creating together is going to be something that it could be something. It could be pretty amazing, and I'm very definitely bullish on it. I appreciate Block Runner really coming on the show yesterday on the spaces and really breaking it down for us because I can wrap my head around it now, and I can
Mhm.
kind of see where it's going in the future. The NAT token is the very first one. It could be the ordi of it. I bought like 50 of them. Using Ordinals wallet has a randomizer thing on there, made it really simple for me. But that's just to cover my FOMO, and I'm curious of the next steps. I'm curious of what happens next. I'm curious who builds on it, and I'm ready. Like I'm ready for this thing to really get going. So
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I'm excited too, man. All right. So, anything else that you want to cover before we jump into the markets?
I just wanted to let everyone know, this is something that I seen. So Casey is putting runes in Ordinal Theory. So right now we have Atomicals, we have Pipe, we have a couple other ones that are in my DMs talking about they have potential UTXO type of projects that they're going to be doing. But for runes to be on Ordinal Theory is going to be game changing, and I highly recommend everyone, it's not financial advice, to have some Bitcoin ready for this, because this is something that really could be huge. And it's Casey, so it's going to be on, CoinDesk. It's going to be on all the big narratives. Are going to be saying, hey, the guy who created Ordinals now put this new project Runes in Ordinals, and it's going to create some noise. And with noise comes liquidity. So I'm definitely looking forward to this.
Yeah. And just from us being in the space for this past year, we know that Casey is very, very like type A.
Yeah,
So I'm pretty sure once this gets released, there's already probably going to be a swap. There's going to be something associated with it, like in terms of application
yeah,
usage. And yeah, I agree with you, man. Like there's I commend, first of all, I want to commend like the developers like Benny and Atomicals and these other ones that are
100%.
putting themselves out there and trying to do something. At the end of the day, it's like the branding and the person behind it. Also, like with Casey, like he's just going to get a certain amount of attention from this.
Yep.
And so I agree with you. Like I make sure that I have like a certain amount of Bitcoin that I'm not personally touching until this is released, and
Yep.
I'm going to deploy it into it. But we got to kind of see how that plays out.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for it.
Exactly.
Not to say I'm not excited for Atomicals and Pipe. It's just, you guys get it. It's Ordinals, right? We're Ordinal Revolution. It's pretty
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah. I mean, I'm more curious to see like how he's going to be able to implement the UTXO model into like the accounting SAT tracking model. Two different locations that the data
Yeah.
is stored to. But like, hey, look, he's this mad scientist that created ordinal theory. So I don't doubt that he can figure a way to
Yeah.
do this.
And I'm just over here with my pom pom saying, "Go Casey, go, go Casey, go." So,
Yeah.
uh,
Yep. I remember when he first announced it, I was like the opposite of that.
I know. But you were
But
like, "Boo this man."
yeah. So, but all right. Well, yeah, that's definitely gonna be exciting. Let's go ahead and hop into the markets. I'm gonna use OKX this week.
Woo! We
For
switching it up. We switching it
Well,
up.
just this week, just to see kind of how it flows.
Yeah.
OKX seems to carry majority of the volume in the market in terms of ERC20. So I think it's kind of good to just use it for this week and see how people like it. So number one, so this is 24-hour volume. We're going to go based off of that as we typically do. Sats is king, you can see, and no surprise there. Volume is about 877,000. The change is it's down 4.36%. Number two is pin. So this one's actually, surprising because when I do my updates, like, I use Unisat, but look at the volume here, 662.5 thousand. It's up 1.46%. Just a little shocking here, right? Like, but also I want to be clear, most likely we don't have evidence, but most likely there's probably a little bit more wash trading happening on OKX just because the volume is that much increased. But that is still, hey, at the end of the day, the volume's volume, right? Like the price is happening here.
Well, one thing you have to remember too, there's no fees over here, right?
Yes,
There's no
zero fees.
so wash trading is pretty easy if you want to do it.
Exactly. So maybe that's something that they eventually decide to change. Number 3 is rats. No surprise there at 468,000 total volume, 24 hours. It is down 11.36%, which is pretty close to what the Unisat site says. So I think people are pulling back in rats. Maybe they're dumping into mice, but we'll have to see here. Number 4, MMSS. So this is one that Shizzy and I are big on just because the people behind it and the community is starting to grow. You could see their Twitter. Go follow them on Twitter if you're a holder of MMSS. There's the MMSS unofficial Twitter account. It's up 0.61%. So no huge increase there, but almost doing $300,000 worth of volume in 24 hours. That's pretty big for the BRC20 market. Number 5, mice. So this is the one that we've been talking about. So it's still minting out. It's around 30% minted out. Did 209,000 volume, 24 hours. It's down about 14%, which, this makes sense because when you're going against the mint out, like you're going to have like situations to where it's going to be cheaper on secondary. It's going to be cheaper minting it different times of the day, depending on the fees, right?
Yeah.
Number 6, InHub. Haven't heard of this one, but they pulled in $187,000 worth of volume the past 24 hours. They're up 70%. So maybe do some research on that. DDMI pulled in $138,000 worth of volume, up 2.6%. DRCR, $137,000 worth of volume.
I never heard of any of these tokens.
I know. And I think this is the thing is that like the Chinese community is like really different in terms of market, right? Like they're a bit different. It's up 0.19%. Also take a look. I love that there's the total transactions here. So even though the volume, there's larger purchases, right? Larger purchases. Bears number 9, sitting at $113,000 worth of volume, up 44%. It's a good kick up for Bear. Ghosty Cash right here, GHSY did $106,000 worth of volume, up 104%. Wow, that's a pretty big jump up. 100 transactions too. So, how much of that is washed, we don't know, but the volume is there. Track did $103,000 worth of volume, up 4.5%. CSAS did $92,000 worth of volume, up 31%. Pretty decent gainer there. 140 transactions. Row up are the roll up supposedly is what they're focused on. They did $91,000 worth of volume, up 4%, 74 transactions. STST is the one I was talking about. So this is the one that I think is working towards a swap. Correct, if you know any different in the audience, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But they did $68,000 worth of volume. BTCS, one of the strongest communities in BRC20. You can see the holder count is 18,920. Look, at the end of the day, this is a strong community in my opinion. They are down 9.12%. I might look for a reentry for myself on this token actually. You can't ignore 18,000, almost 19,000 holders.
What was the market cap though?
Do you remember? Market cap on this is I think it's around 6 million.
Okay, that's not as bad as I thought it was. I thought it was a lot higher.
Yeah, so BTCS, where are they at? Oh, there they are. BTCS 6.3 million.
Okay, that's definitely okay then, because that could definitely do a 10x.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And they do have community power in terms of holders, right? So TBCI, new one, $64,000 worth of volume, up 25%. So possibly do some research on that one. Cows. This is one that I've seen on the Chinese community post a lot. Have you heard anything about cows?
I know that cows are sacred in India. So that was one reason why I was, I'm not sure how big BRC20s are in India, but if they do get big, cows could be something that flies.
Yeah, true. So. It did $56,000 worth of volume, down 10% there. It's probably like similar to Fox's in terms of, how many holders and stuff. 1,000 holders. Do you have Turt? Turt is one that has been kind of catching momentum. They did 42K, 41% increase. So decent there.
The reason I like Turt, I like to say Turt down for what?
I was going to say that just a second ago. But I was like, how does it go?
Turt down for what?
Turt. Yeah, that's a pretty and then you have ORPD. This is the Ordy Police Department. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm
I don't know
coming
what this
for you.
is.
Bad
Yeah,
boys,
yeah.
bad
They
boys.
did 42K in volume, up 65%. Let's just call it that. UCAT. This is one I've been hearing about. UCAT. I'm going to do some research on this. I think the
Where the
Chinese
hell are you
community.
hearing this from? Who the hell's talking
Dude,
about UCAT?
Man, I don't. Well, people comment on my daily
Yeah.
thing, and they're trying
Yep.
to push their stuff. So it's like maybe that's where I saw it. I can't remember, but $41,000 in volume, past 24 hours, decreased by 32% here. RDEX, $34,000 in volume, up 14%. Holder count looks a little healthy there.
Yeah,
I'm going to
sure.
research that one. Cats is up 63%. Cats and Honk are similar to me in terms of like they don't lose their like market cap very much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they don't dump, and so they're up 63%. MFSQ, not sure what that is, but they have decreased by 13%, but they did 25K in volume. DFSN, cool looking logo. I'm gonna
It is
start
really cool.
researching the logo ones over here because I feel like if
No.
they got a logo, maybe there's something. Yeah, 25K in volume for 24 hours and up 7%. And I'm just gonna go up to number 25 here.
Yeah.
Long, 22K in 24 hours, and then up about 25%. But yeah, there's some other ones in here, but we won't go too deep into them.
Sounds good. I'll jump over to Magic Eden, and then you can jump over to BRC 420 next.
Sounds good.
So let me give you a quick refresh. Make sure I got the freshest prices for you guys. I'm always looking on the 7-day, so that if it looks different to you, that is why I like the 7-day. That's just my personal thing. Ordinal Maxi Bid has got all the way up to about 0.5 this week, 0.51. A little bit of a pullback to 0.46. I'm hoping this pulls back all the way to 0.2 so I can get in. I regret not getting in. Man, I had the Bitcoin sitting there. Anyway, Shids. This is one I didn't even tell you, Yago. I FOMO'd into this at 0.0075. I got two of them. But I had a pullback from 0.015 and now it's down to 0.0065. But definitely something I'm holding until a big pop happens. Bitmap back up. Yesterday it was at 0.0014. I actually bought some around there. During our spaces yesterday, I was looking at the pullback, and when Recursive and Benny were talking, I was getting FOMO. I was like, I need more, so I bought a few more there. So sitting at 0.006168. And I'm going to get into the categories. If you wanted a one-digit bitmap, you can get one, but it's going to cost you 3 Bitcoin. If you wanted a 2-digit bitmap, you'll be paying around 0.75 of a Bitcoin. If you wanted a 3-digit bitmap, you'll be paying around 0.0. So it'll be at 0.059, almost 0.06. If you wanted a 4-digit bitmap, sitting at 0.012. And if you wanted a 5-digit bitmap, you'll be paying around 0.0021, which is about 25% higher than the floor of the 6-digit bitmaps. Getting back into your update here, we got the Frogs sitting in that number 4 spot on the 7-day. Frogs, they've been solid. They've been really sitting here between 0.1 and 0.12. Definitely floating back and forth there. Rare sats. I want to get into this a little bit. The uncommons and the black uncommons have really been flying. The uncommons got up to about $250 only for the floor, now sitting at $183. And then the black uncommons, they got all the way up to about, I want to say about $100 each, now sitting at $63. This is something that I was buying around $20, so I'm definitely happy about that. Not really big into the other ones. Are you big into any other rare stats?
No, not too much. Dang, why are those so high with the palindromes?
I think because
what do you have the filter on?
Clear it.
Yeah, just click that.
I don't know. Might be a glitch.
Oh, maybe the total amount that they're selling. Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The amount. Oh, yeah, that's why. 9. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I'll jump back to Magic Eden here. Bitcoin Punk sitting at 0.48. They've been sitting pretty solid right there. Bitcoin Rocks, I guess they have more sales this week because they're at 4.8 Bitcoin for the floor. Ordinals ArtNet. This is something that I haven't really taken a look at. Okay, not really sure. This kind of looks like the blotches, and they post the blotches. And like, what do you think this
I
looks
wonder
like?
if this is someone had mentioned that someone associated with some art with Casey. I wonder if this is it. But that looks really just not. I don't like
nothing.
that. Yeah.
I think you're talking about Ordinals.
Oh, maybe.
Or no, or Nakamoto Archives. That's what it is.
Okay.
I think so. One of them. I don't remember. But yeah, and we got Goosenos Honk Honk sitting at the 9th spot, 0.023 on the week. That is a good sign that they're staying in the top 12. I hold some Goosenos, definitely a huge fan of those guys on the base community who really put this thing together. And then we got, like I said, the Nakamoto Archive sitting at 0.12. Mutant Punk sitting at 0.00055, and then the Ordinal sitting at 0.0067. And that is your Magic Eden update. You want to grab the 420?
Yep. Got it. All right. So this is the BRC 420 market update. This is going to be assets for just in case there's some audience members first time or haven't watched in a while. We're covering the BRC 420 market as well, which are assets that you can add into your bitmap.rcsv.io world. And so this, Recursiverse is just growing. And so this is kind of like the bitmap marketplace for right now, right? Yeah. And so as you can see, the top asset here is the BRC 420. Very first asset deployed is the blue box by Recursiverse. It's sitting at a floor of, 0.036, which equates to $1,347. So this has been kind of fluctuating back and forth. I would say between like $1,050 to this price, right? But some big news coming up with Recursiverse and stuff I think has been kind of driving this price up a little bit. As you mentioned, we are going to have Jeff from Recursiverse on the show early next week, next couple days. But yeah, so this is the number one spot here.
Real quick, you know what would be really cool though? If something happened where you could wrap these things, man, that would be really cool and make it like a token. I don't know. I think it'd be really cool if something like that happened.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I don't know. Maybe someone's working on that. We'll see.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah. Number 2 is Bitmap Town. So this is one that I am watching very closely. I definitely, full disclosure, I bought some of these. I paid a little bit higher than this, but I
paid a lot higher than this.
but so I think this is going down by holder count, by the way. But it is at $30, right at $30, and the mint price I believe was 25. I want to say 25. So it's about $5 up. The reason why I was big on it was because first of all the holder count is pretty large. 1438 for these type of assets. The largest one is 2631. But then also the fact that it has 611 metaverse assets that you can use and you can, create and design your bitmap.rcsv world, right? So that's why I was bullish on it, and I'm still am. I'm just waiting, If I was wrong on it, I was wrong on it, right? But I have a good feeling, and I believe some other opinions as well believe that this is something that will eventually kind of take off because people will want to use it. Number 3 is Blockamoto. These minted out at like $13. The floor price is 0.0076, which is $284. And number 4 is Meta Rats. I'm not sure what these minted out, but 0.000675, $25. The Meta Rats and Meta stuff, they started to kind of catch a bit. I would say only 84 holders, but still. Then you have Pedicin 0. This is actually the pet for Blockamoto's avatar here. It's at 0.00125. I think the mint price was like $13 or something. 139 holders, and then go back to Blockamoto, 141. So pretty much people that are buying Blockamoto are buying his pet too, right?
Yeah.
So Then you have the Meta Bucks that's at 0.0008. It's there at about $30, 236 holders. Pepe Zero has 613 holders, 0.0001. $3.74 is the floor here. This costs like 50 cents, I think, the mint price.
Yeah, it was really cheap.
Yeah, and then we'll finish up here with the dragon. This is a really cool like avatar in the world. It's a $65 floor. There's 74 holders. When you watch it, you fly obviously across the thing. It's really cool just to watch. I'll see if I can get more information on this to see if there was I can get the mint price here. The royalty mint price. I guess not. Maybe if I go to tokens.
Yeah, if you go to tokens, you could probably see it. If you go to the dragon, there it is.
So $37.43, and it's selling at 65. So I don't know. That might be one that I look to pick up because it hasn't fully minted out yet. You know, that might be one I look to pick up.
It would be cool to use a dragon in the metaverse because you got to remember, guys, that you use all these inside Recursiveverse metaverse, which is potentially going to be an app in the Uniset app for your phone. So
exactly, I want to see something. I want to see what if because I know this guy was pretty popular for a bit, the Bitcoin walking guy,
yeah.
Where is he at? I just saw him. Oh, there he is. Let's see what he's selling for on secondary.
You're not gonna see it here. I don't think you can.
Yeah, I can find. I guess maybe just search that on Marketplace. Is that the best thing to do? Let's see. Yeah. So you can see $13.81, and he was a. How much was his mint?
You gotta see that in tokens, yeah.
Yeah. I wish they just had that all in one spot. There he is. So the mint cost was $3.81. So $10
18.
Come up, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So not bad. Okay, we always do this because this is our shilling moment of ourselves. Yeah. So you have Resident Yagobi. You got one more holder. Yay!
Ooh,
we're at 12 total.
Nice.
So yeah, someone picked up 3 more Resident Yagobis, pretty cheap at $3 and something cents.
Yep. Where am I at?
I think $3.43 per, but got a long way to mint out. Appreciate all the support for whoever's minting that. And then Shizzy is going to be a little shocked here because it looks like I did a little research pre.
Did I get more?
You got one more pickup here. I believe Resident Shizzy. You're at 5.
Oh, yeah, wow.
So someone else picked you up here.
Nice.
Someone else picked you up, yeah. Resident Shizzy here. Resident Yagobi. So you can find us. I just messed around and I deployed another one too, just to mess around. And I'm trying to learn this stuff, guys, as well. Yeah. You can see there I created Zombie Yagobi here, which is my PFP.
Oh wow, I didn't know you did this.
Yeah, PFP. It's a PFP avatar, so I used it. You got the Bitcoin sweater here, but yeah, so pretty cool. But yeah, so that is the BRC 420 market update.
And I'll jump over to get your tap tokens. So this is ordinalswallet.com, the only place to be able to buy and sell your tap tokens here. And we got Gib. The value is pretty high on Gib, 5.6 Bitcoin. Ordify has 2 Bitcoin. And then Base sitting at around 1.3 sold. The NAT token really making some people are buying it, sitting at 0.5. And the Bitmap, we'll get into it. So if you wanted the Gib token, you'll be paying around about 3 cents per. And the cheapest one you get is 10,000 of them. And then going back, Ordify, if you wanted some Ordify, you'll be paying around 6 cents per. Cheapest one you could buy is 5,000 of them. And we got Base. Base is 1,000 tokens, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Base is 1,000 tokens. Yep.
Cheapest one right now is $793, sitting at 0.02 for one. If you want to pick up 4 of them, you're paying about $1,000 each. They are a launch pad. We actually had them on the show. The Nat Mint. This is technically a tap token, right? Technically.
So that was the one. That was the one that I don't know how that works.
How to categorize.
Yeah, because I mean it is they are tap tokens.
Yeah.
But I guess you can mint directly from there, selecting the 10 random
This is
blocks.
what I did, yeah. So if you wanted to do I did my 50 today. I inscribed it, and then that's how I got my 50. I had FOMO, and now I feel good that I have at least 50 of them.
Got it out of the way.
Got it out the way. I think it cost me like $290 with fees. And then bitmap. So this is the bitmap tap token, community token sitting here at points. If you put about 4 cents, you 10,000 of them, the cheapest one to get, 0.0009. I'm curious where that goes from here. But I think that is your top tokens here. Do you have any token tab token that I should look at while I'm here? That's not in the top 5 here.
No, I'm good on that because I check that all the time. But like I think with Tap, once if Tap.exchange launches, I think there's going to be more volume for sure.
Yeah.
Right now, just it I mean, I don't know how you feel, but for me, like I feel like it's kind of hidden into Ordinals Wallet's platform.
Yeah, I agree. It's it's very So we'll see what happens with TapX or whatever Santiago will eventually get out. Yeah, so that was our show today, guys. I really appreciate you guys watching. If you cannot watch, you can definitely listen. We're on Apple, we're on Spotify, we're on pretty much every single podcasting site you can use. You can even use there's one where you can earn Bitcoin for listening. I think that I forget what the name of that one is, but yeah. So we appreciate you guys, man. You have any last words?
Yeah, just want to remind everybody that we do have the members only videos. So if you are interested in kind of just diving deeper into the minds of Shizzy and Yagobi, you can become a member. We appreciate all of our current members. It's been a blast. We just started accepting members like a week and a half ago, and we're already up to like I think past 20 or something like that. So pretty good.
We got 20 members. We put out a video this morning, really talking about the stuff that we do personally. Only get in this, guys, with the mindset of just getting into our minds. It's not financial advice. We're not going to tell you what to do. We're not going to do anything like that. It's just what we're doing with our personal portfolios. And because we dive into a lot of different things and stuff like that. We're pretty risky on the degen curve. So like I said, just to do all your own research if you do decide to become a member. But that's all it is. It's raw, it's uncut, it's exactly what we're thinking. And we do live research there as well.
Yep, exactly. So we appreciate all of y'all as always, and watch out for a couple big videos coming up this next week. And we'll catch y'all on the flip side.
And check out the website, ordinalsrevolution.com. Ordinalsrevolution.com. Check it out.
Ordinalrevolution.com.
Ordinalrevolution.com. I'll spell it out now. I'll put that in the show notes. It's in there, guys. Check that out. We do have a Discord as well. I need to do a better job personally of being in there. So for our Discord people, I'm going to be in there much more often. So if you guys want what we're thinking, the latest of that, you can check that out is there as well. That is not member only thing. That's anyone can join the Discord. And we appreciate Rocket. Rocket seems to be the lead guy over there. So we appreciate you, Rocket. So see you guys.
Peace.